Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mark from Solar Games, and today I'm super excited to bring to you a collection I bought recently. And so the story behind this collection is basically the gentleman that I purchased the set from is getting married, so he's kind of raising some money to do that. And that's one of the beautiful things about Magic cards is that as a game piece, you can also, when you're done with playing the game, you can actually trade it in for money that you can use for other things. So that's really, really great. But yeah, so this is the collection. I just want to share with you part of what they have. There's a binder, a couple boxes, a bunch of bulk cards, some sealed products, and some loose cards. So we'll kind of go through all of them a little bit, show you some of the highlights. Inside the binder, supposed to be more of the more expensive stuff is in here. First off, you'll have all these player reward cards. It's really sad that a lot of these player reward cards, I think these three, the Cancel, the Sign in Blood, and Terminate, have already been reprinted as list cards. But these were given as Friday Night Magic or something else. But really, cards like this mean you're not gonna get anything that looks remotely like this anymore. It's so great, these artwork from back then, these textless cards. So yeah. Over here we have some of the Vault from the Vault cards. This is from the Vault Dragons, like this Nicobolas here. The coolest thing from the Vault series of cards is they were known for having better quality foils, and the foils are just different looking. They have it's almost like a different feel to the foil. It's similar to Kaladesh Inventions and the Amonkhet Invocations. More from the Vault Dragons. Here's some DCI promos. So here's a Wood Elves. This must be a really old school one too. Yeah, but look at that art. And that's the promo for that. Sometimes some of these are given as judge promos. I'm not really sure where this Wood Elves comes from, but it's one of those promos, whether you're playing in tournaments or FNM or judge promo. Like this one here, the Murderous Redcap, you can see there's an FNM holo logo right underneath when you point the card. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. So you've probably seen this if you have anything like this, but you'll see there's an FNM logo in that holographic where the text box is. So it's kind of cool. Some of these are, again, player reward type of things. Over here we have more from the Vault cards here. These I think are relics. Is this from the Vault. The Trinisphere, again, also from the Vault. And of course, Edgar Markov, basically pseudo reserve list. He's too good. They're never going to reprint this card. So at this point, this card is as good as a reserve list commander. Yeah, as close as that's going to be. Here's more from the Vault. These are from the Vault. I believe Transform is the set. But you'll have really fun things. Yeah, these are so cool. So you have for example, the Transform Chandra, like this one here. This is Chandra on one side. You flip it over, it's the Planeswalker. Kind of just shows off the Planeswalkers and their journey of becoming a Planeswalker. It's kind of cool. So a lot of them. Or this dagger here probably transforms into a demon or something, usually. Oh, this is not from the Vault, but this is a flip card. So this is from I think this is Shadows. No, Rise of the Eldrazi. One of the Eldrazi. Anyways, it's Bruna, but this is one of the meld cards. So we're gonna have more of these coming up in the next set, Brothers War. But this is what they call a meld card. So it's half a card on this side, but when you flip it over, it's half of a bigger card, like a gigantic card. Actually, probably this size. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Even it's just exactly the right size. Anyways, since we're here talking about this, there's two of these. These are the giant cards for the commander decks. Used to be when you buy a commander deck, you get one of these bigger ones as your kind of proxy. I didn't even know they sell sleeves like this, where it's a Ultra Pro sleeve for the gigantic cards. Anyways, because Edgar Markov is such a famous card, those cards are not bulk junk. They're actually worth money, these oversized cards. So yeah, that's a thing. So for everyone out there who doesn't know about that. Over here we have some lands, counter spells, obviously pretty good. Delver of Secrets, except nobody really cares about that card anymore because it's not really a staple now. Some foil lands here. Some really cool stuff like from, Lorwyn or M11. Some of these lands, by the way, here I'll take out this M11 one and show you. In light, it just, back then, the foiling is just so different, so much more detail. The colors are so vibrant. Come on, focus. There you go. Yeah, it's just better back then. I couldn't really tell you why. If you have one of these cards, you kind of hold it up and kind of compare it to what you have today, and you'll notice a big difference. But coming up to this side of the binder, this is basically majority of what I purchased, right? So the 6 duels. Some big hitters here. You got Volcanic, Underground Sea, the Bayou. The other 3, the Taiga, Plateau, and the Scrub are kind of like mid-tier duels, mid to lower tier. Let's see, so the Volcanic here, all of these duels, by the way, were a little bit played condition, but the Volcanic here is actually a pretty decent condition. Like I would say, probably like a nice MP, LP here. By the way, a lot of these duels, right? White border, you're always going to have the problem with the white border being dirty. It's just really hard to keep the white border clean, unfortunately, especially back when these cards were being played. Very infrequently were they actually sleep. So if you can look at the top, you'll see it up here. There's some coloring on the white border. That's to be expected, but honestly, pretty decent condition card. I mean, it's got little nicks and kinks here, so it's definitely not near mint, but I think like LPMP. The Bayou might be the most beat up out of the set. But as you can see, like the top over here, it's almost like it's lost a whole chunk on that corner. But otherwise, like pretty decent card overall. Again, more of the discoloration of the white border can't be prevented. Some, I think, left to right centering, but who cares? It's not like I'm grading the card anyways. But yeah, decent condition duels. So I'm always happy to have more duels in my collection, especially more of, even when they're not in good condition. That's actually a good sign. Sometimes when the duels are in too good of condition, you should check for fakes, actually. So sometimes when they're a little bit worn and the wear and tear looks normal, yeah, then you know you have a real card. Over here in the bottom, we have a City of Shadows, a little bit more beat up from the dark. As you can see, it's like got a little bit more wear and tear on the corners, right? And then we have a Serra Sanctum. This card is beautiful. It's basically near mint, from your Urza block. Here we go, like this. Okay, Vorath Stronghold. Coming up this side, we have Pendelhaven from Legends. Of course, your Undiscovered Paradise, the Lotus Veil from Weatherlight, the Winding Canyons, Weatherlight, Scorched Runes, some medallions. These again have been reprinted, so they're not worth as much as they were before, but still very powerful cards, right? Reducing spell costs. Alcor's Tomb, Mana Web, Scorax from Tempest, again reprinted, but these, when I saw them, were great condition Scorax. Love them. It's basically near mint, never played. That's awesome. So, really cool to see. Really excited to see some of these cards. Ensnaring Bridge, always good. You got a Cormus Spell from Revise, or sorry, this is unlimited actually. So again, you can tell unlimited cards by the really deep coloring here, but also this kind of like double embossed border. That's where it differentiates from the revised version of this card. Cool. And as you can see, some of the more staples, especially probably back when this gentleman was playing, but obviously not as strong anymore, especially with all the reprints. But Divining Top, your Thorns, you got Emulous Vigor, Immortal Sun, still very powerful cards, right? Especially like Immortal Sun. Over here we have Sword of Dungeons & Dragons, really cool. This is neat because it's not just the mythic card, but it's also one in foil. So these are actually pretty rare. I think these are kind of like your relatively rare cards, Crocs of the Thumb, also in foil. Some of these unstabled, don't underestimate these unstabled foils. They can fetch some money because again, unstabled is more of a rare set, lower print runs, and the foil is obviously harder to get. So you combo this together, and it's actually pretty hard. Other exciting things here, we have Control Magic. This is a beta actually, beta Control Magic right here. Decent condition, probably like a little LPMP, pretty good. Ristic Study, Intuition, Volcanic Eruption, Revised, or sorry, Unlimited, Cyclonic Rift. Yeah, so as you can see, this is just somebody's like playing binder, because you can see that a lot of these things are cool. Right here is a, this is cool. So you can see, this is what we call a foreign black border, revised. So this is a revised card, and you know this because of the date on the bottom here. But let's see, yeah, 1994. It says 1994 on the date on the bottom there, right there. And then, but it's a black border, right? So usually when you think revised, you think white border. So the foreign cards that were printed for revised were black border, so that's why we call it foreign black border. Okay, No Mercy, Hatred, Contamination, Corpse Dance, Reserve List here, Blood Chiefs, right? Still powerful cards. Necropotence, powerful cards. Perforos, Shivan Dragon. Shivan Dragon's it's been reprinted to nothing, but the ones from Revised and Unlimited definitely can fetch some money, right? Goblin Wizards, and of course Alpha, all the earlier ones. Final Fortune, pretty cool. Sneak Attack original, right? So this is the first Sneak Attack ever printed. It was in Urza's, and wow, it's actually, I think this card is in really good condition. I didn't really see it. Yeah, that's a perfect condition Sneak Attack. So great. Yeah, so excellent stuff. Originals. I just love original artwork and all that stuff. So cool stuff. Concord Crossroads from this is a good lesson to learn. So this is a Concord Crossroads, right? Very expensive card if it's from Legends, which is that set symbol, but you see the white border around it? That makes this actually from a reprint set called Chronicles. So Chronicles was one of the first reprint sets, and what really set off the whole like reserve list conversation and everything like that. Basically, when Chronicles landed, they reprinted a bunch of cards from like Legends and other sets, and they really sparked a lot of people's anger of like, oh man, you're reprinting all these cards that were worth a lot of money. And so what ended up happening after that was, because of that happening, there was a newly defined reprint policy, reserve list, etc. It all came from that. And then sets like Chronicles just didn't really happen. I guess we did have like, master sets, which are kind of like the current age reprints, but that's what they were doing back then. And of course, we got more Chronicles here with Nicol Bolas. But here, look at this. Old Man Angus Mackenzie. Yep. Pretty decent condition, actually. Let's take it out of the sleeve and see. Yeah, so little bit of wear and tear on the back, but the front is beautiful. A little bit scuff in the corner. Again, a lot of these cards from old school days, they're not what I would consider gradable. So remember, even if you get some card out of, fresh out of a pack, and you send it for grading, you may only get a low 8. There's a lot of things back then, centering, the cuts back then were just not as good as they are today. So Aisha, Halfdane, but this is Italian Legend, I think. Yep, Italian Legend. So not quite as expensive, but still Legend card, no less. And that's going to do it for this binder here. But the fun doesn't stop. So let's show you some other stuff. So first, let's talk about the sealed products I got. So a bunch of these sealed things that I got. So here we go. Fate Reforged 2-player Clash deck. These again are kind of like introductory products. I don't really know if these are worth much, if anything, but again, it's just kind of fun to see boxes from back then. Of course, you got the Theros. Is this Theros? I don't know what set this is from. This is almost like, again, back then with the starter decks. But you got like Sun Titan in that print. So this is like one of the fewer like artwork for Sun Titan against your World Eater. I don't know his name. It's kind of cool. Just dual decks back then, right? For 2-player, it's fun stuff. Event decks were a thing. This is basically kind of like almost like very similar to what they call like standard decks or those challenger decks, except it's like back then. This came with sounds like there's a dice in there too. I actually have never opened one of these, so it does say that there are 60 cards, 15 card sideboard, and 10 rares. So has at least 10 rares. But the more exciting, fun thing is this. So these were like premium decks that they had before. So they had premium decks like this, the one for Sliver. I think that one had a Sliver Queen or Sliver Legion. It was some really Hive Lord, I think maybe. Really cool stuff. And this is an all foil 60 card deck. And this one has Avatar of Woe, Anime Dead, Buried Alive. These are some really cool Entomb, good cards here. In the back we have Reanimate there. Yeah, so a lot of really, really fun stuff. So pretty good deck, especially for back in the old school days. Yeah, so they have inserts and all this stuff. The packaging is beautiful. I mean, like this is very, very bulky for sure, but it's a beautiful packaging. Things like this, I just kind of don't even want to open because there's really no point. I mean, that die, by the way, that die's got to fetch a lot of money because that's a very unique looking thing, that spin down. But yeah, there's a lot of these products from back then. It's just this really unique thing. So let's go over, let's look at this. So there were also like this box of like, kind of like, I guess they're not even bulk. These are all kind of like good cards. But it was just like, some extra stuff here. Some master sets here. We have Alara, Shards of Alara, Reborn, etc. This is like a stack of foils, I think, from back then. Yep. So these are all just foils. Some rare, Yeah. I've noticed that the Ultimate Master foils are just so good. I mean, they barely bend at all versus like your other foils from other sets are crazy, curling. But yeah, whatever they did in Ultimate Masters, it doesn't even feel like the cardstock is thicker, but they're doing something different. I recently watched Professor's video on the whole bending issue with the Commander decks for 40K, the foil ones. It's like, I don't understand what they're doing differently. Yeah. But anyways, this is a really cool box too. So this is a Mercadian Mask. Yeah. See, the boxes back then are just totally different. Anyways, a stack of these. Ranges from everything from like really old school stuff. I think there's some revised in there all the way up to like I think M13, 12. Yeah. Over here, this is kind of cool in this little small box here. I got a bunch of these unset lands. So, here you go. So plains, right? So these are this is from let's see, Unglued, Unhinged. This is Unhinged Lands. So this is the second set. So these are the Unhinged Lands. This is the Unglued Lands. So these are the old school ones, which Darren, Batter, Chris Rush, of course. And oh, that's got to be Teresa, right? Yep, Teresa. So anyways, banned from Magic. He has passed away, so he will not be drawing anymore. But yeah, fun stuff. Is there more than one in here? Just one, right? Yeah. These lands are great. I don't even know. You know what? Do they have foils of these ever? Anyways, these lands are just really old school. This is the first, if you want to know the history of full art lands, this is where it came from. So Mark Rosewater and Chris Rush came up with, hey, let's draw these full art lands and put them in the unsets. And because these were so popular, they decided that they were going to do this for every set. So of course you got the plains from This is Unhinged. And these were, in my opinion, the unstable lands of these were probably the best looking. Because I mean, you want to go full art. This is as far as you can get. I mean, look at the mountain, look at the island, right? You got the swamp. I think the swamp just looks so good in unstable. Here we go, a bunch of those. The forest, right? And you got the plains. I'll do it in Uberg, so I don't want to mess some people up. Here we go, boom, and boom. And I'll even do this. I'll even pick out one of every one, so I can really show you that that crisp looking thing in your hand. I think if I could make one change about the Unhinged Lands, is that I really wish the mountains were a little bit more red instead of this kind of like brown color. But man, look at that fan out. It's just so beautiful. Love those unset lands. Yeah, and I'm just happy I got this whole stack of them, right, from this collection. Really, really cool. Yeah, so these are always going to be good. I mean, the unset lands are always worth some money. So there's always people who want these lands specifically. I think I just do it like that. Yeah, cool. There's the unstuff. We did the sealed. All right, let's do this. So there's another long box. This is probably the more expensive stuff. So let's get these fillers out here. We can kind of go through this, you know, kind of together here, just quickly, I guess. Yeah, some invasions, coalition victory. Yep. Tsubo, boom, boom. Yep. Sterling, Sterling Grove. Yep. Oh, Rith. Wow. There's is there more than one Rith in here? There is more than one Rith. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, you know, some of the Dragon Legends. You know, you want to talk about those. We got some. These are these Italian? These are Italian legends here. Okay, and some of the other legends over here. We got okay, Apocalypse, Weather Light. So yeah, a bunch of this stuff. Riptide Laboratory. I remember this card being in Modern Horizon. Sword of the Chosen. Boom, boom, boom. Phyrexian Walker. Marauder. Yep, look at that. Ravenous Rat. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, a bunch of Unearth here. Yep. Frantic Search. Might of Oaks. Rancor. Subversion. Iron Maiden. Wow, look at that artwork. It's so cool. Goblins. Blasted Landscape. The Chimes. Shivan Gorge. Victimized. Lava Tubes. Erratic Portal. Soul Warden. The Hound. Right. Djinn. Okay, a bunch of this. Mountain Valley from Mirage. Something Mirage like, you know, lands. They look so cool. They got the like very different bordering back then too. Some artifacts, mind bends. Okay. Ancient ruins. Okay, Vital. Okay, we got a Hive Mind foil snuck in here somewhere. Yeah. Ward, Alter, Dementia, Blood Moons. Okay, your Legend, High Tide. Ring of Renewal. Okay, crafted exoskeleton here. Okay, what else do we have here? Knight at Boon. Again, just it's a mix of everything. Black Market, right? Last One Standing. Blood Artist. The Blade. Sword Plowshare. Decree of Pain. Well of Dreams. Sanguine Bond. Mutilate. Sea of Clouds. Okay, Mobilize. Summer. Ooh, look at this squirrel. Full squirrel token. Anger. Baron Sanger, Spine, Herald's Horn. I know a friend who needs a couple of these. Skull Clamps, New Blood, Elsbeth. Yeah, that's from the dual deck, right? Whoa, look at these. Are these the contraptions? Oh, these are foil contraptions. Wow, I didn't even know the contraptions came in foil. They look really nice. Unsets. I mean, I'm not a big fan of unsets in general. All right, and we're back. Sorry, battery died a little bit, but yeah. Here we go. Where were we? Contraptions. Okay. Yep. Foil contraptions. I didn't even know they had foil contraptions, but cool stuff. All right. Of course, we have Ley Line of Life Force, Fierce Empath. Wow, from Scourge. That's cool. With that shooting star. I love the shooting star foils, man. Skull Clamp, Berserks. Yep. Lattice. Oh, more Berserk. Look at that. That's a from the Vault Berserk. Okay, cool. All right, Phyrexian Furnace, Mind Stones. Oh man, look at this. Okay, Foliage, Dwarven, Mage, Thaumaturgist. Okay, the Goblin Bomb. Argiven Find. Okay, wow, cool stuff. Here we go. Boom. Nope. Lost the card here. Okay. All right, put these in here too. What else? Yeah, here we go. Some cards from the dark here. Starting with this. A couple cards from the dark. Ooh, the Hag. All right, here we go. Goblin Cave, some commons, obviously. Angry Mob. Ooh, look at that artwork on the Fallen Drake. Safe Haven, Fountain, Dust to Dust. I mean, that still gets play. I mean, it's a good card. Okay, it's Touch, Felwar Stone. Okay. Okay, Italian Legends. Avoid Fate. Wow, okay. Whoa. Hammerheim, Red Mana Battery. Oh, more Italian stuff. Okay. All right. Medusa. Ooh, okay. Nice. More Erratic Portals, Equilibrium, Jinx Ring, Awakening. Yeah, so again, a bunch of these old school cards. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go through all these like a little bit more detail when I get a chance, but Bazaar of the Wonder, wow, look at that artwork, so cool. Such detailed artwork from, back then, old school days. They just did cards differently back then. Oh, Grim Feast, look at that artwork, dude. He's eating people, Jesus. All right. Ifrit's the Furnace, okay. Look at those counter spells, man. This is from what? Oh, Tempest counter spells, of course. Vec, the Altars from Tempest. Oh, yes, the Angel. Okay, but she's not. Yes, Avenging Angel. Ooh, so many of them, too. And one Korean. Awesome. Coffin Queen. Apocalypse. Yeah, so a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of these actually still left. Not sure if I'm going to go through all of them today on a video, but it's more or less just kind of showing you guys, give you a sample of what cards are included here. Well, here, and we have to talk about humility, right? Yep, here we go. One of the more expensive cards, humility. And there's 3 of them. Yep, exactly. Yeah, all creatures are now lose abilities and 1/1s. You got Lord of the Elves, Greater Food, okay, Reign of Filth, Tainted Aether, Smokestacks, Fault Lines, Thran Quarry, Sunder. Oh, Baron. Here we go. Another reserve list card here. Argotha Enchantress, Lifeline, or a Thief. I mean, there's, Treachery, Second Chance. Second Chance is reserve list too. But some of these cards, like, they're not really that strong or, powerful, whatever. So there's definitely like jank even on the reserve list. So, I think this one's reserve list too. Just because something is on the reserve list does not mean it's, instantly a good card or better or whatever. So, yeah. High Market, Fountain, Power Matrix. Wow, look at that card. Beautiful. Weave, Familiars, Forsaken City, Legacy Weapon, yes. Oh man, Charge, okay. Is there a Cersei? I think there's supposed to be a Cersei in here too. Oh, here we go, Captain Cersei. Not Cersei from Queen. Oh, Phyrexian Altar, all right, here we go. That's a great card. And wow, Antiquities. Oh, cool, look at that. Some stuff, some really cool stuff in the back. I probably just missed it on the first time looking through this. We got some antiquities here. Artifact Ward, the Catapult, Chalice, the Ward, COP, but this one is Spanish COP. Is that a... Okay, that's just on the sleeve. Perfect. Good. Armageddon Clock, Energy Flux, some more Phoenixes. Yep. Helm, Eye of Singularity. I was talking to some friends about this card a while ago, but you can build some funny jank around this too. Sorry about the glare on the sleeves. I just realized actually with my lighting it doesn't work very well. Yep, so here we go. More Ice Age cards. Glacial Chasm, yes. Nice. Urza's Bauble, cool. Ice Age Counterspell. Don't judge this card. This card, man, it's a very unique artwork there. The Crypt, wow, look at that centering. So back in the old school days, these cards, man, the cut was so bad. And this is from Chronicles, by the way. So there's your Crypt, but it's basically almost, I almost feel like I can see another card on this, almost. Oh, actually, I do have something to show you. So let's go through this really quick. Stasis, that's a 5th edition Stasis. Aladdin's Ring, Revise, the Rock Hydra, yes, Sorcerer's Queen, more bolts, Mana Flares, Meekstone, ooh, Meekstone, nice, okay, Goblin King, oh yes, Goblin King, Mana Flare, Mana Flux, Lord of Atlantis, Winter Orbs, Revise, yep, and then a Shivan Dragon, cool. All right, moving on to the last section here, I think he told me, Secluded, Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, so this is the modern cards, aka things I don't really care as much for. But yeah, Scapeshift. So great card, right? And it's in foil. Remember back then in the old school days, these foils are not easy to come by, right? Greater Oromancy. If you don't believe me, look up how expensive this card is. There are not a lot of these cards out there. So It's one of the reasons, right? Back in Lorwyn days, it's, and that's, especially when if it was a bad time for Magic and how rare like foils were back in the boxes, these were not easy cards to get, in a pack. So some Drana action here, Child of Lara, lots of Child of Lara, Nicol Bolas, okay, Dragon, Time Sieve, okay, Aria, here we go. So some of these are the box toppers for Ultimate Master. Oh, Bitter Blossom. Oh, Dark Depth. Look at that. Kozilek. Okay. All right. Frantic Search. Vengevine. Mana Vault. Ooh, Mana Vault. All right. Here we go. Gadok Teague. Visions. How many? Ooh, Silence. Oh, Sarah Ascendant. Okay. Serenity. Okay. All right. So Pender of Mist. Whoa, Peacekeeper. Okay. Some good stuff in the back, man. Definitely. All right. Cool. One last thing I did want to show you before we end the video today. We want to talk about like misprints from back in the old school days. There's some really funky stuff. So I saw this, and no, don't worry, your camera is in focus. This is just the way these cards. Look at this card. It's so misprinted, right? Look at these, dude. That's not the camera being out of focus. This is what the cards were. And I looked these up. These are real cards. I mean, it's just really badly printed. I mean, I did all the checks and everything. These are definitely real cards. It was just some really bad printer stuff. And I know this because you see how like these are all kind of in sequence with each other? It's almost like they came from the same like batch or box. Look at this one. This is like way off. It's almost like a magic trick. I'm holding the card. It's like falling off the card or something, right? So anyways, obviously, I don't care for these kind of things, but I know there are groups on the misprint groups that really do care about this. So I'm gonna go spend some time and look that up and see what those are worth. If you guys all know how much those misprints are worth, or where I should kind of like sell them, I don't really want to keep them because I don't really care for misprints. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who are out there who really do care about them. So I just trade for things I know, like reserve lists. But yeah. Anyways, that's a little short video about this collection I purchased. So we have that. Cool, on file. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of the collections I'd purchased over kind of like overall time, just let me know. You always get fun cards like this too. Gigantic Markovs. All right, Mark from Solar Games. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.